Hey, what's up, y'all? It's J Clyde. 28 days of Dilla Beat Conductors battle. We are in the just past the fourth week, and I'm just gonna give y'all just my thoughts and feedback on the battles for this past week. Another great week of battles. Not a full week of battles. Few people weren't able to show up, but hey, life happens, and you just move on. So we'll take this week and move on to the eliminations coming up this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. But just wanted to give y'all some quick thoughts as I have been the last few weeks. So first battle, Coop DeVille, Bigg Smoov. Coop, man, great work on the first track. Nice drums, nice mix. To be honest, I think that was like the best beat I've heard from you. In my opinion, or at least my favorite one. You really, I think you really went the extra mile this week, and I don't know if it was my feedback or other people's feedback, but your sound was much more full, and definitely you made a point to have the bass lines going and the drums really slapping this week. So I definitely appreciated that. But the second show. Sorry, let me turn this phone off. The second track, Coop, I wasn't sure where you were going with that one. It was because you had the it was kind of a really, really simple beat, and you had the scratches or vocal samples, whatever. But it just kind of, I don't know, it just didn't go anywhere for me. It was a little bit confusing as to why you would play that in a battle. So that was a little bit confusing. And then Smoov, that second track, real nice bounce, good energy. Love the change with the synths. I mean, you're really good at that. The movement with your beats, I definitely appreciated that. And then the third one, Coop came with the nice drum break. Was really, really chunky and had a good vibe to it. And it's Smoov as always. Nice full sound, very dynamic. And the thing that I like about what you've been doing, at least in these last few weeks, is when you use synth patches. I think you make really good choices, especially on that third track. Really good choices with the synths that you use. So with the combination of some of the stuff that I mentioned, I gave the win to Bigg Smoov on that one. But I do have to say, man, Coop, you really stepped up this week, and definitely keep pushing and keep that same creative momentum going. It was really good performance this week, man. So the second battle was Steve Bills against Moods and Vibrations. I gotta be honest with you guys. This was, in the 4 weeks that we've been doing this, in my opinion, this was the best battle that has happened yet. I had this, and this is the first and only battle that I had to go back and watch it a second time because I couldn't decide after the first watch who. There was no clear-cut winner in my mind. You guys just killed it. It really put on a show, and I think everybody can kind of learn from this battle. Is it's two distinct styles and really good ideas on both ends. So Steve Bills, he came out with the that first beat, really kind of cool, unorthodox samples, and you definitely had that bass this week. So I appreciate that. But really good idea, and just something that you don't hear all the time. Just like kind of quirky, offbeat. I like that stuff too. And then Moods and Vibrations. I mean, you're always going to come with just the hot, dope samples and drums. I mean, that's your style, and I feel like we're a little bit kindred spirits in that way. I definitely hear it the same way you hear it. So I definitely appreciate what you've been coming with. The second round, Steve Bills, really dope. Reminded me of kind of like that old Swiss Beats style. Real bouncy. It had some really nice changes also. That was really cool. That you kind of had a lot more. You had a lot more dynamics to your tracks this week. The next one for moods and vibrations, I just double underlined and all caps the word ugly. It just that yeah, it was just funky. That track was just funky. So I definitely appreciated that one, and you definitely had the bass coming through that this time. So it's a big up to you on that. And the third round, Steve Bills came back with the funk. Again, really nice changes, a lot of dynamics going on here. You guys are doing a great job of not just kind of being happy with letting a track just play. You're really putting in a lot of thought into the programming and movement of things. So that's really dope. And then Moods and Vibrations, that last track was great, dark vibe that I'm looking for, good energy, just a real battle track. And I could have almost flipped a coin with this one. Like I said, this is the best battle that I feel has happened in the whole 28 Days of Dilla so far. I had to watch it twice, and I think what did it for me was the second beat from Moods and Vibrations. Just the way I reacted and started bouncing, I put it over the top for me. So moods, I got to give you the win on that. But man, Steve Bills, you really stood out, and you came with it this week, man. So don't get discouraged. You're definitely going to be one of the top contenders, I think, moving forward. And I really like you have a great ear for what you're doing. It's a skill to be able to pick samples, but it's also a skill to be able to pick samples that nobody else would, that are unorthodox, and you can make them sound good. So that's definitely something that is a signature of yours. So just keep doing that, man. Keep being different, and I appreciate that. So the next battle, we had Mental to God moving on over Freek Sanatra by forfeit. And then we had Feel Real against Pheem. Let's see here. Phil, first track, real spooky, lo-fi, nice bass, great changes. All the stuff we know you for. Don't change it up too much, man, because what you're doing on the regular is pretty spectacular. So don't go off the deep end and try to bring out your experimental stuff that you're not too sure about. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Pheem, that first joint, is a pretty common loop, but I like the way that you gave it a different kind of lo-fi sound for the Curtis Mayfield sample. I hadn't heard it like that before. I think because of the horns, everybody kind of tries to make it a very clear, like blaring, triumphant sort of thing, and you took it down to the dirt. So I appreciate that. Phil came back with the it's light vibe, but the bass line was just really moving, really nice, and it was still very funky. Just a real sick track for the second entry. Pheem came back with the really hard track, dope drums. Could definitely feel that bass, and really had a proper battle energy that I'm looking for. And then Phil's third track, I just put filthy with 3 exclamation points. I was just shaking my head. I think it was appropriate that this is the month of Dilla, because that third track really had the Dilla vibe for sure. And then Pheem, man, great performance this week. The third one, I really thought the soul sample was really dope on the third track. But I had to give the win to Feel Real on this one. He really had another solid week. Yeah, not much more to say on that one. Next one, we had Prolyphic over Flames Emoji with a forfeit. And then next battle was Verse against Kel-C. Um, Verse. I really like the first track. There's a lot of it was that kind of dark drama vibe. Really good programming on that one. Kel's, the drums are always going to slap. The mix is always going to be really good. Yeah, everything's always going to be swinging. So that's nothing new. You're going to get people nodding their head every single time. So we definitely appreciate that. Verse came back with the slapping, slapping soulful, nice chops, and actually that second one I love this beat. Like I really like that second track that you came with. Second track from Kel was I wrote super interesting because I think you got to keep in mind. To my memory, I think you've only played in all these battles. I think you maybe have only played like one beat that had a sample in it. It might have been more than that, but not many more than that. I think you're doing most all the stuff with no sample, so that makes it a little more interesting, and also I think a little bit more impressive too. That you're able to do that. Verse the third one, I personally, the Soul to Soul sample, a bunch of different people have done it. You put a different spin on it, but I just thought it didn't make me go crazy because we've heard it before. Just to be completely honest with you, Kel's third track was really knocking, nice movement with the bass line, and just kind of more of the same from him. So this was a good solid battle, but I gave the win to Kel-C on this one. But Verse, man, good performance this week, and I really liked the vibe that you came with. This battle was really interesting. This next one was JC against Lou. JC was first, and what was interesting about JC stuff this week, I think for the most part, everything that I've heard from you has been sample free. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I can't remember everything, but I'm pretty sure the vast majority of the stuff that you played has been sample free. And I think this week all three of your beats had samples, or at least sounded like it. And man, like you just have a really good ear for samples. Like I was like, wow, like came out really nice vibe on the first one, and that was like my favorite beat that I've heard from you so far. I was really well executed. And then Lou, the first track was a little bit confusing. It was kind of all over the place. I didn't really understand where you were going with the chops like that. I maybe just trying to be different or whatever, but it didn't work for me on that first one. JC on the second one, I wrote, my reaction was, damn, really like the sample here too. Like you have an ear for samples, man. So keep that in mind when you're making stuff. Like you really have a good ear for what to use for your style, and I like that. It definitely was a good a nice change of pace this week for you, I think. Lou, the second track, raw dark vibe, that I'm looking for. So that was a nice recovery from the first one, I think. JC on the third one, I thought the bass was way distorted. It was good sample again, but the mix was a little off on that one. And then so overall, I gave the win to JC on this one for this week. So keep up the great work, guys, and I can't wait to see what happens next week with the eliminations. So JC, man, keep in mind those samples, man. You can, I think you can make some special stuff with this right samples. Then we had E21 against SoundMindz. I mean, you're always going to come with the nice drums and chops. That's just who you are, and I love it. And same thing with SoundMindz, man. They, really nice dark vibes, good bass lines. Big drums for both of y'all, really. Let me see here if there's anything that really stood out. On that second one, SoundMindz, I was like, wow, like I probably would have did the track just like that. I think we think alike on some level as well. And then man, on that last track, I really dug the chops on that last track. That was sick. And then SoundMindz closed it out with a real dark, aggressive sound, which I like. So, pretty, I think a pretty evenly matched battle. I would say this one, I have to give to SoundMindz, but I think if you guys battled, I would like to see a series of battles with you guys, because I think it would be pretty interesting from week to week. And then the last one, the last one was just Hobbs playing joints, because First Spawn didn't get his music in. So just some feedback if you want some feedback, Hobbs. Really nice tracks this week, man. I was impressed. Like nice drums, really clean sound on the first one. The second one, I love the soul chops, and that's a good beat. That's a good beat for a battle, but I think it'd be an even better beat for an artist. So I don't know if you submit beats to artists or not, but if you do, I think that's a good one to submit and to build on. And love the drums on the third one as well. So really nice performance this week. And I think first Spawn would have had his hands full, but we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. So I think after 4 weeks, you guys have really put on an entertaining group of battles and brought some interesting perspectives and different styles, and you definitely appreciate y'all putting in the time and effort to put on the show every week. I think this week I didn't have really any complaints like I did last week about the whole bass mix thing. I don't know if you guys are taking that feedback or it's just kind of a just coincidence, but I thought that was a lot better this week. So big up to you guys, and now you know who you're battling coming up this week. So be aggressive. Don't play your this is just me. This is just my opinion, but I wouldn't, if it was me and I was in your shoes, I wouldn't be playing my little R&B stuff or what little dance joints. I would be, if I know who I'm battling, I'd be going for the jugular and really try to make some faces scrunch up and make some neck snap. That's what I'm looking for, and hopefully y'all bring it next week. And good luck to everybody as we come to eliminations. So peace.